Charles Durning died. Charles Durning died at age 89.
I met him.
Did you meet him?
Yeah, I met him when I worked at Borders in Westwood in Los Angeles. I helped him for like a half hour. Charming guy.
Oh,
very
boy.
nice.
That's a loss.
It is, though. I was really, because he was so nice, and we were just talking, and he's just one of the nicest guys. I mean, just a real sweetheart.
Well, Dean, you had posted something. I mean, this was as true a war veteran, a war hero as you could get. I mean, he was one of the first ones out on D-Day. Everyone in his squad was killed, with the exception of him, obviously. He got wounded in the Battle of the Bulge. I mean, and I think he went on to be a boxer after that, and then he went into acting. I mean, what a life that he had. You know, that's what distinguishes great character actors and great actors in general, I think, but particularly character actors. You get a sense that they've had a life, you know, before they started acting, so they have a lot to draw from when they perform. That's why their characters feel so authentic and lived in. Because they're authentic people.
Yeah. I mean, he won 3 Purple Hearts, a Silver Star, and he won the French Medal Legion of Honor or whatever. I mean, you know, but he never won an Oscar. He never won a Tony, and he was nominated for 9 Emmys, but never won. But he did win the SAG Lifetime Achievement Award, and you know, he always said that you know, one of his biggest fears was not being recognized by his peers, you know, as being somebody who was worthy of being an actor. He never really had, strangely, never had a lot of self-esteem as far as that goes, and I think that was a holdover from the war, because he did go through some incredibly traumatic things during the war. I mean, he you know, towards the end of it, the New York Times obituary for him, you know, he only talked about the war in his last years, but they talked about him at the last days in Germany, having to go hand-to-hand combat with one of the Hitler Youths. And and he actually had to try and he actually tried to reason with him, and eventually had to kill a kid, and it actually ended up, you know, holding him in his arms and crying with that child in his arms. So, I mean, you know, yeah, he had an incredibly rich life even before he got into movies, but then when he gets into movies, you know, in the mid-60s or so, I mean, boy, what an unbelievable career on television and in the movies and on stage. He was just number one, and you know, they really should have given him the you know, a special Oscar. I mean, you know, I was pulling for that last year.
You were. Well, Dog Day Afternoon, Tootsie. I mean, what that part he had in Tootsie.
Yeah.
Being in love with Dustin Hoffman. I mean, it was great.
I love him, and you know, he turned out to be a great dancer. So he was great in Best Little Whorehouse, and then you know, even things like Starting Over, all those things he did with Burt Reynolds. You know, Brother Where Art Thou, again, and another dancing role for him in some ways. And so, I mean, I mean, you know, The Sting, and then like little known things like Enemy of the People, which was one of Steve McQueen's last movies. And just, I mean, the Muppet movie, for God's sake.
Yeah, no, you can't forget.
He worked with Steve McQueen and Kermit. I mean, that's what
I mean, people can say that.
Not anyone can say that.